Talking about debt covenants, this is something you could see on multiple exams. Well, when one party borrows money, the lender is taking a risk. And we'll see an example here. Specifically, what we're going to discuss is a company borrowing money from the bank. The bank is the lender. The bank is a business that exists to make a profit. Shocker. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that. So it works to minimize its risk. And how does a bank minimize its risk? Well, it limits what the borrower can do once it's borrowed money from the bank. This can happen to you if you've got a mortgage. This can happen to you if you've got credit cards, if you've got financing in any way. This is something that maybe you're familiar with and maybe you're not. Either way, no worries. The company must sign an agreement and abide by debt covenants, which require the borrower to do certain things, such as, let's say we borrow $10 million and the bank here, it doesn't want to risk anything. It's going to put restrictions on you as a company to make sure that you are able to pay this back. And if you can't pay this back, obviously it's going to take repercussions against you. Now, limiting how much additional debt the borrower can issue. The bank doesn't want you borrowing 10 million from them, borrowing 10 million from someone else and someone else and someone else. That's going to be definitely a concern because that may show that you're just not able to pay back any debt at all. Restricting what the borrowed funds can be used for, right? We don't want you expanding into some risky business venture. The bank might request it goes toward your normal operations, or if you're just a manufacturing company, this money might be restricted to go solely toward your machines, factory, and overhead, requiring the maintenance of certain financial ratios, such as debt ratios. This will be something that we will see as well, like I was mentioning, possibly in a sim. You have to calculate the ratios and determine if the company is in compliance. If it says you can't have a current ratio less than 1, then assess the current ratio. If the current ratio is less than that, then you are not in compliance. Lastly here, another possibility is restricting the payment of dividends. This bank doesn't want you just giving out dividends even to the shareholders if it wants you to keep enough cash on hand to pay them back. These covenants exist with individuals as well. As I mentioned, by violating a debt covenant, the borrower enters technical default and the lender can demand repayment of the whole amount lent. And usually, however, there are going to be negotiations in order to continue. They're not just going to demand the money back. You can restructure the debt. We've got that concept as well in the FAR exam. Now, when conducting a compliance engagement for an entity, your job may be to ensure compliance with a debt covenant. Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.